Boruto is easily the best-written new-gen shonen protagonist, which isn't surprising considering he's continuing the legacy of Naruto, one of the greatest manga series ever created. Unlike Naruto's expansive, sometimes scattered narrative, Boruto's story is more streamlined and consistent. Kishimoto and Ikemoto ensure every piece matters, emphasizing impactful writing and coherent character progression. Boruto's strength as a character lies primarily in his excellent and believable development. Within just the first few chapters, Boruto evolves significantly, shifting gradually from a spoiled brat who relies on shortcuts into someone who embodies the true spirit of a shinobi. In a lot of ways, Boruto is like Naruto in his mischief nature, though unlike Naruto, Boruto grew up in a life of comfort, a starkly different environment than shinobis of the past in constant conflict. Naruto never knew his parents, so he tried to get recognition and attention from those around him. Boruto had a loving family, but due to Naruto being a Hokage, he looked for his attention and recognition. Boruto's comfortable upbringing sharply contrasts Naruto's isolation. Naruto sought validation from strangers because he lacked family, whereas Boruto had family but craved recognition specifically from his father. Both paths reveal a common theme, the universal desire for acknowledgement shaping their identities. His frustration stems not from neglect, but from Naruto's transition into Hokage, altering their family dynamic. Naruto wasn't always a Hokage, and initially spent a lot of time with him, but this changed drastically when he became Hokage, dedicating more time to his duties than family. Adults might grasp this shift easily, but children often can't. Boruto wished for the simpler times when his dad was just dad, not Hokage, causing him to resent the role itself. Some of you might understand this, especially if your parents worked a lot. You likely appreciate it now, but maybe didn't as a kid. The first event that starts to put everything into motion is Himawari's birthday. While everyone in the Uzumaki household is celebrating, Naruto holding the cake suddenly puffs into the air, dropping the cake and leaving everyone in shock. It was a shadow clone that disappeared as original Naruto collapsed in exhaustion in Hokage's office. He worked hard to protect the leaf from looming Otsutsuki threat. Boruto and Himawari didn't know that. All they saw is that their dad sent a shadow clone to his daughter's birthday. This enraged Boruto, not for his own sake, but Himawari's. He saw her sad look, and as her big brother, a protector, he couldn't let that slide. Boruto's anger here isn't selfish, but protective, humanizing his character. And like a charm, the house bell rang with someone standing outside. Surely it must have been Naruto ready to apologize, so as soon as he opened the door, Boruto came out swinging, ready to punch his dad on the nose, only to be met with a dark figure ready to put belt on ass, Uchiha Sasuke. Boruto immediately recognized him. He was the only one who could rival his dad in power, the only one who could teach him to beat his dad, and he wasted no time asking him to make him his student, marking the beginning of a powerful mentor-student dynamic central to his growth. While Sasuke saw that Boruto was spoiled and rash, he also reminded him of Naruto, determined. He saw in him the soul of a shinobi, the concept he'll come to embody. So, he agreed to make him his student, if he could make a Rasengan. Boruto's early flaws, his reliance on innate talent and shortcuts, are sharply written through the Rasengan training with Sasuke and Konohamaru. Boruto sought out Konohamaru to help him with his training. Boruto was very talented and smart, much more than Naruto was. Good qualities, but only if they are to be put to good use. He often relied on his innate talent to skip the learning curve, something he couldn't do here. He committed to intense training, overcoming initial frustration by working tirelessly day and night, demonstrating his genuine willingness to grow, a significant step on his path of improvement. However, his impatience and entitlement still surface vividly when Sasuke offers a sarcastic remark after seeing his Rasengan. He took it to heart and run away, jumping to conclusion that Sasuke has dismissed him, where this wasn't the case. Perhaps disappointed in himself, he couldn't master something in a first try. A hasty character trait of someone who over-relied on his gifted nature rather than training, common with talented but spoiled kids who quickly abandon tasks when challenged. Unable to accept failure, he resorts to cheating, using a scientific ninja tool to fake success. With it, he goes to Sasuke, trying to trick him into making him his student. He had no qualms about lying and taking shortcuts to achieve his goal, showcasing he has much to learn. Boruto's early reliance on shortcuts evokes Nietzsche's critique of slave morality, where immediate gratification overshadows genuine self-overcoming. His initial inability to embrace hardship reflects a deeper philosophical struggle he must eventually confront. Sasuke saw through him. "I'm not like my dad when it comes to talent," said Boruto. "That's for sure, you seem quite different from Naruto. Though I'd hoped it wasn't the case," Sasuke responded. Naruto wouldn't look for shortcuts to achieve his goal. He knew the value of hard work. Boruto didn't. Yet despite that, he agreed to make him his student, giving him a perfect opportunity to make him a better person. And he wasted no time doing so. Sitting at the campfire, all Boruto wanted to know is his dad's weaknesses, how to beat him. And Sasuke told him there were many. He told him that so Boruto could understand that one needs to overcome his weaknesses to grow. By confronting his weaknesses, Naruto became Hokage. He told Boruto he should do the same. Instead of jumping to the top, he should start at the bottom, making his way there. And slowly but surely, he does. During the Chunin exams, Boruto continues to misuse scientific ninja tools, but Sasuke's words slowly begin to resonate. Use your own head a little. Don't covet immediate answers. Boruto begins understanding this, even if he's not yet able to fully act on it. He still uses shortcuts in the form of scientific ninja tool, but start feeling remorse doing it. And most importantly, it's clear he values Naruto's recognition the most. The reckoning comes during Boruto's fight with Shikadai. He gets exposed and disqualified by Naruto in front of everyone. Defeated and embarrassed, Boruto lashes out at Naruto, highlighting his deep desire for his father's attention and recognition, albeit negatively. Sasuke knew Boruto was cheating all along, but deliberately let him fail, believing this harsh lesson necessary for Boruto's true growth. Before Boruto's confrontation with Naruto could fully unfold, the Otsutsuki attack interrupts, leading to a critical moment. Momoshiki's reliance on chakra pills, what he calls true power, is met with Naruto calling him a coward who relies on doping, not true power, vividly reinforcing Boruto's newfound understanding of authentic strength. Naruto protects them all, absorbing the entire blast of Momoshiki. In that moment, Boruto realizes how strong Naruto is, and he realizes the importance of a Hokage. Naruto could have blasted away Momoshiki's attack. He didn't. He used his own body as a shield, absorbed the damage, and protected everyone around. Just before blast goes off, Boruto finally realizes what Sasuke was telling him. He realizes Naruto's true power that came from hard work and perseverance, not looking for shortcuts, and the burden he carries as a Hokage. He wakes up in the hospital with Naruto gone and the village in shambles. He tore down the scientific ninja tool, symbolizing his realization. He finds himself in a Hokage office for the first time, seeing what it means to be without a dad, how Naruto grew up, what being a Hokage truly means. He hit rock bottom, and Sasuke was there to reaffirm what a loser he is. Stripped of his headband, labeled a fraud, and denied the title of Shinobi, Boruto had truly hit rock bottom, just as Sasuke anticipated. It is this moment that defines what he'll become, starting with nothing, just like Naruto did. Sasuke offers him a new path, symbolically handing him his headband, marking Boruto's true beginning as a shinobi. They go and rescue Naruto, where they both realize they were wrong and shake hands to amend their relationship. They go to defeat Momoshiki, where Boruto truly sees Naruto and Sasuke's strength and rises to a challenge that ends with him defeating Momoshiki and getting karma, starting his journey of destiny. All this transpired in the first 10 chapters. Boruto came to understand and value Naruto. He realized what being a Hokage means and how to get there. He started valuing hard work over searching for shortcuts. He took on the mantle of Shinobi and saw the weight of responsibility that comes with it. Though he decided to carve his own path despite his newfound appreciation for Naruto and the role of Hokage, he decided to be more like Sasuke, equally embedded in the role of Shinobi, but protecting everyone from the shadows, especially Sarada, the one hoping to become a Hokage, creating a new parallel between the two and their parents, as well as their dynamic. And ultimately, he decided to become a true Shinobi, facing his own fate. Truly one of the starkest character developments in such a short time, with well laid out dynamics. However, his story and development were far from over. After these events, Boruto takes on mentoring Tento, a spoiled child of Land of Fire daimyo, who mirrors his own earlier traits. Boruto teaches Tento lessons Sasuke imparted to him, reinforcing his own internalization of these values. Teaching someone similar to his past self offers Boruto profound self-reflection, solidifying his growth. At the end, when Tento gets kidnapped, we also see another valuable side to Boruto. Before he leaves to save Tento, he stops by Sarada to let her know he's going, showcasing he's also aware of the importance of teamwork and trust, something original Team 7 had to overcome at start. The first part of his development and personality was now cemented firmly, establishing him as a prime example of an upcoming shinobi, but he was still a kid, and this was seen through how he saw things. The Ao arc further deepens Boruto's maturity. Initially, Boruto rejected scientific ninja tools completely due to his experience during Chunin exams, so he rejects the mission of bringing new tools to the laboratory, with Sasuke present who challenged his view. Scientific tools aren't inherently bad, the key is in how one uses it. This literal representation of tools and lessons through them continues the theme from Naruto, where the tools were shinobi. Through Ao arc, Boruto experiences firsthand their positive aspects in a laboratory, helping Ao survive, enabling an injured dog to walk, and even aiding Naruto in protecting the village. But he also got to experience why they're bad, as they're ambushed by Ao, a battle between scientific ninja tools, one used to cause harm, others to protect and save lives. They engage with a fight with Ao, and Mujino loses his life. Over this battle and experiencing all this, Boruto realizes it's not that scientific ninja tools are inherently bad or should never be invented, it all depends on how you use it. A tool isn't inherently good or evil, and Boruto learns that what truly matters is to use them properly. Before their final confrontation with Ao, Ao is approached by Koji, where the theme of scientific tools gets brought back to its roots, with Ao establishing that he isn't a shinobi anymore, just a tool being kept alive by science, a tool to carry out his duties of Kara. And where Boruto now evolved in his relationship to literal tools, having this translate to people will be a development spanning the entire story. They defeat Ao, but spare his life. The broken parts can be fixed, not just literally, but metaphorically. Boruto shows a lot of maturity and resembles the humanity of his father, words that resonate deeply with Ao, as Boruto did fix his broken parts. So as a last action, he saves him from Kashin Koji with a ninjutsu, sacrificing his own life for Boruto's safety, returning to being a true shinobi in his last moment. With Ao death and Kashin Koji retreat, Boruto learned a valuable lesson on the use of tools, and how people can be tools also, but that wasn't the end of his mission nor his growth, as they continue to find Kawaki, the one who truly embodies what it means to be a tool. Throughout these events, Boruto's friendships and bonds with his teammates Sarada and Mitsuki subtly shaped his growth. Mitsuki's calm, detached wisdom often grounded Boruto's impulsive nature, while Sarada's ambition and disciplined goal to become Hokage served as a continual inspiration for Boruto to become a reliable protector from the shadows. Together, these interactions created a balanced emotional landscape, crucial for Boruto's ongoing maturity. Kawaki introduces Boruto to an entirely new dynamic. Unlike Tento, Kawaki doesn't reflect Boruto's experiences at all. Aside from their loathe of karma, they have nothing in common. Kawaki resembles Naruto's traumatic past, but not his personality. Boruto does. In a way, Naruto represented a unique bridge between the two. By living with Uzumaki and working with Team 7, Kawaki managed to open up and normalize his relationship and actions, leading to a false self of security within Boruto, who saw him as a brother. They inevitably grow closer, yet their fundamental views remain in conflict. Boruto bonds emotionally with Kawaki, but initially fails to deeply reflect on their critical ideological differences. He sees Kawaki save Himawari and help him get back Naruto, but fails to see his deep resentment and extremist view of the world, not until it's too late at least. While all of this unfolds, Boruto comes to deeply understand the profound danger and responsibility tied to karma. Through Sasuke's mentorship and his own growing resolve, Boruto recognizes that he's become a genuine threat to those he cares about. The writing carefully emphasizes his internal conflict. Boruto willingly prepares to sacrifice himself to protect others, highlighting the heavy burden he carries as a shinobi. This resolve is dramatically tested during the confrontation with Ishiki, where Boruto does not hesitate to risk his life, even though ultimately unsuccessful. Yet, while Boruto is ready to sacrifice himself, sacrificing his friends is something he cannot accept. This distinction becomes vividly clear when Kawaki chooses to surrender himself to protect Naruto. Unable to bear losing a person he considers family, Boruto rushes to save Kawaki, culminating in a climactic confrontation with Code. Here, Boruto's struggle with Momoshiki reaches a dire point, as he's overtaken for the third time. With Naruto and Sasuke's diminished strength offering fewer options, Boruto makes the agonizing decision to allow Kawaki to end his life. Both Kawaki and Boruto portrayed the ultimate shinobi resolve, making a devastating choices for the greater good. Boruto's survival, however, thanks to Momoshiki's intervention, marks a significant turning point in the narrative. Post-battle, Sasuke cautiously questions Kawaki's drastic actions. This subtle interaction hints that Sasuke recognizes a familiar darkness within Kawaki, something Boruto himself initially overlooks due to his bond with Kawaki. But Boruto's realization soon arrives dramatically. Kawaki, recognizing Momoshiki's growing threat within Boruto, decisively takes matters into his own hands by sealing Naruto and attempting to kill Boruto permanently. Only Sarada's timely intervention saves Boruto, almost at the cost of her own life. In this powerful moment, Boruto fully grasps the extremity of Kawaki's resolve, a narrative turning point skillfully written to highlight the severe consequences of ideological extremes. This conflict escalates and results in Ada's omnipotence, reversing their roles entirely. Boruto suddenly finds himself trapped in Kawaki's former reality, isolated, misunderstood, and abandoned by everyone except Sasuke. This narrative device expertly illustrates profound themes of identity, isolation, and societal prejudice, aligning seamlessly with Boruto's emotional growth. Rather than collapsing under this immense pressure, Boruto endures, gaining true empathy for Kawaki's past loneliness and alienation. This realization reshapes his outlook significantly, setting the stage for his mature portrayal in Blue Vortex. As a final act of first part in the series, Boruto, instead of wavering, takes on the challenge, putting a belief in himself, his father, his mentor, and the will of fire. Showcasing his astounding development from a spoiled brat who didn't care for shinobi, to someone who embodied the ideal better than anyone else, ready to carry on the mantle and the weight of the world on his shoulder. A character now very reminiscent of Naruto we came to love. In the first glimpse after the time skip, Boruto emerges profoundly changed, not just physically, but in his very essence. His youthful mischief is replaced by stoic determination, shaped by hardship and relentless training alongside Sasuke. Boruto's maturity, reflected through his realistic worldview and careful, calculated actions, marks a clear evolution. The story's nuanced writing emphasizes that Boruto has become aware of the broader implications of his choices, carefully deciding what information to share and what burdens to shoulder himself. During and post-time skip, particularly in Blue Vortex, Boruto is characterized by his newfound maturity and philosophical awareness. He embodies concepts like Heidegger's Das Man, the pressure and influence of societal norms that shape identity. Having experienced both acceptance and rejection by society, Boruto deeply understands the superficial nature of collective judgment. His isolated state symbolizes existential authenticity. Removed from societal expectations, he must define his true self, independent of external validation. In a related philosophical dimension, Boruto's forced isolation strongly echoes Nietzsche's concept of amor fati, the acceptance and embracing of one's destiny, no matter how challenging. Faced with overwhelming rejection, Boruto chooses not to lament his situation, but instead actively shapes it, accepting hardship as an essential path to true strength and authenticity. Boruto's interactions in Blue Vortex are marked by precision and decisiveness. He confronts Kawaki directly, acknowledging their conflict without hesitation or false optimism. His pragmatic attitude towards Kishinkoji, demanding transparency and blunt truths, further illustrates his philosophical growth. Boruto understands that genuine leadership involves making difficult, sometimes unpopular decisions for a greater purpose. His mature perspective mirrors Sasuke's realism, yet surpasses it by integrating Naruto's empathetic worldview. This synthesis allows Boruto to embrace responsibility realistically, without forsaking compassion. He is aware that true strength is not just physical power, but also the courage to face reality head-on and accept its harsh truths. He emerges as a character perfectly embodying best qualities of both Sasuke and Naruto. Ultimately, Boruto's journey in Blue Vortex reflects the culmination of profound philosophical and narrative growth. Through navigating isolation, hardship, and the weight of responsibility, he emerges as a mature and authentic protagonist, realistic yet deeply compassionate. Boruto's character vividly embodies Heidegger's challenge against societal expectations and Nietzsche's philosophy of embracing fate, demonstrating that true strength comes from confronting adversity head-on. His evolution isn't merely a continuation of Naruto's legacy. It elevates the narrative to new depths, exploring complex moral landscapes with nuance and clarity. Boruto stands now not just as a worthy successor, but as an exceptional shinobi in his own right, prepared to lead, protect, and inspire within a world increasingly filled with difficult choices and genuine sacrifice. If you enjoyed this analysis, join me as we continue exploring the intricate and ever-evolving world of Naruto and Boruto, diving deep into the latest developments, theories, and essential insights that shape their extraordinary story.